This all started when I moved into our new house, and it started up a new gym membership. But anyways, so one night at the gym, I saw this weird guy staring at me, and sort of following me around. Honestly, he looked crazy, and he looked like a shell-shocked soldier. He was very socially awkward and quiet, but he looked like a smart person for some reason. He had a huge build, he was big, probably about 6'4", and he looked like a bodybuilder. So then he eventually passed by the machine I was on, and he looked directly at me, almost like he was reading me. It was like a deer in headlights. My gut just told me that I was in trouble. So eventually I get up and I head for the lockers. And no surprise, he headed for the men's locker room, which was right next door. I made myself literally sit in a locker room for about 20 minutes to make sure that he would not leave the same time as I did. So I appear out of the locker room, and I don't see him. So I start heading out to the exit, and out of nowhere, this guy literally pops out of nowhere. He heads out behind me. At this point, I'm now accepting that challenge. Fight or flight kicked in, and I was ready to fight. I slow down and I stare at him with the most serious deadlock stare I can muster up. He walks to his car and I walk to mine. We were staring at each other the entire time. I stand there in front of my car. I stare as he gets into his car. He then lowers his head and gives me the most bone-chilling evil eye to stare anyone could ever give. It kind of made me chuckle. I waited for him to drive off, so then I figured I lost him, and I started driving home. I live in a very small town with neighborhoods, with dead-end cul-de-sacs. So right before I turn into my neighborhood, this SUV rides up behind me, on my tail aggressively. I knew that man followed me after that, but I have no idea how he did, because he was very stealthy. I'm pretty sure this guy is ex-military or something just by his demeanor. He looked about 36 years old. He had an SUV and just everything screamed ex-military. So anyways, about 3 days go by, and my husband leaves for work. And a weird so goes by and I'm upstairs in the bed, and I hear my front door open. Someone just walked into my house. My heart stopped. I had no idea who it was. So I crept out of my room and I see all 3 of my kids are fast asleep. I walk over to one of their rooms and I looked out of the window to the street. Then my heart dropped. A van was parked directly in front of my house that I didn't recognize. It was an old unmarked van that parked at a very unusual diagonal angle in. He's running. The lights were on, so I started stomping and screaming and making noise, and I waved and I started flickering the lights in my house, trying to threaten them and get the attention of the person outside. So the van races off and it leaves whoever in my house. Then all of a sudden, I see this man emerge from under the window with his face completely covered in a clown mask. He was running away from my house, but get this, he had that same build as the guy from the gym. It's just unmistakable. He's huge and I don't really see people like that around here. At first I thought it was a random robbery button. The guy dropped multiple pictures of me, leaving the gym and going home. My husband saw that van apparently once after that, and it was 3 weeks later and it spared off. When he walked outside, my brother-in-law a couple weeks after that came to visit him, had to park around the corner. He told me he saw a guy walking by the house, and he looked very suspicious. When I asked the description, he gave me the same description as that one guy that I saw at the gym, and the one who ran away from the house. Honestly, I'm creeped out, and I really don't know what's going on, why this is happening to me.